Hey guys, so welcome back to another nutrition video. So before we get started, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already subscribed, if you are watching this from the YouTube, but I am also sharing this on my Instagram. So once again, if you are not already following me, do hit that follow button for more tips on nutrition and exercise and all things health and fitness related, and travel when we can travel actually, as my Instagram name is Jazzo Travels and Trains. More training at the moment, less traveling. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about proteins. So this is a topic that I have covered very briefly a couple days ago, and I just want to go a little bit more into it. So a lot of people are very aware of, the importance of protein in our diet. It's very good for repairing muscles, building muscle. If you want to, build muscle, it's really good for that. Our body needs it. It's one of the important macronutrients. I don't think anybody, like a lot of people like to cut carbs and fats out of their diet, but no one ever cuts protein because, well, for one, it's the fun stuff, and for two, you shouldn't be cutting any of your food groups out anyway, because they all have an important purpose in our bodies. So one of the more important things that protein helps us with that a lot of people aren't aware of is that it actually helps us with our appetite. So it makes us feel a lot fuller, and it makes us feel more satisfied, and it helps to prevent cravings for other things, right? And so a lot of coaches, we will always ask our clients to up their protein because, well, for one, a lot of people actually don't eat enough protein. And I know a lot of people who aren't really into fitness, they think that, gym fitness people are, just eat a lot of protein because we're just, trying to get muscly and stuff, but really it's not that. It's that actually a lot of people don't eat enough protein. So obviously your body needs a certain amount of protein to function, right? And most people don't even get the bare minimum. So when we, when we put you on a nutrition plan or a suggested nutrition plan, we're not nutritionists, so we can't actually, say that it's a plan. But anyway, when we suggest meals to you, we do ask you to up your protein, and a lot of people get really, really worried, right? Because they're just like, oh, I heard it can be really bad for my kidneys, and it's really bad for you, and all this kind of stuff, right? So first of all, I want to say everyone's bodies are different, right? And so, I think it's really important when you're embarking on any kind of new fitness regime, or, changing up your diet, trying something out. I think it's really important, to get your blood work done on a regular basis. And so I'll give you an example for me, right? When I was really religiously following macros and eating a super high amount of protein, I was also, eating fats. I was also eating carbs. I had my blood work done, and for a couple of years, it was quite interesting to see that the year where I was on higher proteins, my blood work was actually a lot better. So my cholesterol levels were better. And then the year that I ate less protein and a little bit more carbs, my cholesterol levels were actually not that great. But, for my husband, on the other hand, he ended up having kidney stones, had a bunch of tests done, and it was found that, he just had an extremely high levels of protein in his blood, and he might have already had a predisposition to having kidney stones. So you really, really do need to get your blood work done, because just because it works for someone and it's good for someone doesn't mean it's good for you, or vice versa. If it doesn't work for someone, doesn't mean it's not going to work for you, right? So you really, really do need to have that checked out. But anyway, so we always ask you to up your proteins, and I like to recommend about 40% of your diet, your nutrition, 40% of what you eat in a day is protein, right? So let's say you are on a standard 1,500 calorie nutrition plan, and this is for you because you want to lose weight, right? So on average, I think 1,500 is still quite low. A lot of people can actually lose weight on a lot more calories than 1,500, but let's just, use 1,500 as a base because that's what a lot of people sort of default to, and also the amount where people are kind of like, well, this is what's recommended out there on the internet. It seems really little. I'm super hungry on 1,500, right? But I just want to show you on a 1,500 calorie diet how much protein you should be eating. So this is roughly around 160 grams of protein, right? Which is roughly around 40% of your total calories for the day, based on 1,500. So, once again, for the purpose of my video, I have not gone out and prepared anything. I have not gone out and bought anything to make this video. I literally just went into my refrigerator, my cupboard, and just pulled out what we already have, right? So I want to show you how much you should be eating, right? So this is what happens for breakfast. You can have 2 eggs, right? You can have it however you want. Scrambled, boiled, fried with just a teeny tiny bit of oil basted on your pan, and 100 grams of smoked salmon. All right, 100 grams of smoked salmon, which is this entire pack, all right, which is a lot for breakfast, right? And then you're still allowed to have a piece of toast. Do you know what I mean? So if you think about it, it's quite a lot of food. So right now I'm not following any kind of macros, so, and I'm not on a, nutrition plan. I'm not trying to lose weight. I would have 2 eggs and half of this. But as you can see, this is a lot of food. So this is probably going to hold you off until quite late. But what we usually recommend is to have a snack in the middle of the day, right? And so, to keep the fat levels lower within the day, because if you're eating meat, animal-based protein, that obviously naturally has fat in it, so your fat intake will also go up, right? So if you're trying to avoid the fat intake going up, why can't I speak? Protein powder, protein shakes are a really good way to deal with that. It doesn't matter if it's whey or a vegan protein. I am not vegan, obviously, but I do prefer the vegan protein because it upsets my stomach less. So mid-morning snack, one of these. You could have it with, I tend to have it with almond milk because I am slightly lactose intolerant. You can blend it up with some ice, blend it up with some frozen berries. And maybe your nutrition plan might allow you to blend it up with bananas or whatever. But let's say for the sake of this 1,500 calories a day, well, you're going to blend it up with raspberries and blueberries, really yummy when it's frozen, right? So you imagine how filling one of these is, right? And then we get to lunchtime, right? And so lunchtime, you can prep chicken. So in here, right, so you would be able to have about so we always ask you guys to weigh it out in raw weight, so that it's easier to portion it out. And here in this Tupperware is some chicken, right? And actually, I know this looks like a lot, but this is just a fraction of that 250 grams. So actually, you probably need about double of this, or about another sort of 3/4 of this amount, right? So you can see that's a lot of chicken. And then you can have it, with your salad, and in the meal plan that I've sort of, roughly put together for the sake of this video, you would also be allowed some bread, So there you go, you're not missing out on your carbs. And then once again, for a mid-afternoon snack, you could have another protein shake, right? But there's actually other stuff you can have, but I don't have anything like that at home right now, so I'm just giving you a clue. I just want you to understand and see how filling 1,500 calories can be when you're actually eating the right amount of protein, right? So another one of these, right? Very filling mid-afternoon snack. And then we get to dinner time. And dinner time, so one of these, Sainsbury's packs, it's got 2 fillets that are about, 2 salmon fillets that are about 120 grams each. And within this allowance, you could have 1.5 of these, right? So that is a lot of protein. And in the mix of all of this, right, you are allowed to have rice and carbs with your dinner. And again, I haven't mentioned the vegetables, but the vegetables, I always say you can have all the green veg. You can have the spinach and broccoli and your, asparagus, those long fine beans, and you don't have to weigh them out. Do you know what I mean? You can have as much as you want. So, but after you had all this protein and then your carbs and whatnot, you'd be pretty full. So at the end of the day, eating 1,500 calories, where you are in quite a deficit, you would be extremely full, and you would end your day not being like, oh my God, I'm so hungry, like I'm on a diet or whatever. You would actually feel really stuffed. Do you know what I mean? So this is the thing, right? And I have a lot of clients who, they look at this and they're just like, oh, I just can't eat that much protein, or they can't, they really struggle to have their mid-morning snack and their mid-afternoon snack. And I think the problem is we are so conditioned to eating when we're at that point of feeling extremely, extremely hungry, right? That when we're kind of like nice and full, then we're like, oh, we're fine, I'm fine, I don't need to eat, right? But you do still need those calories, right? Dropping your calories significantly low is like one of the worst things you can do. So I really do encourage you, if your trainer gives you this amount of protein, please eat it all, right? If I am your coach and I'm giving you this, please eat it all, because there is a purpose to this, right? And we don't want you to be on lower calories, when you don't have to be, and we want you to feel really full, right? So we don't want you to feel like when you're on a calorie deficit that you are starving. And we're trying to show you that this is how it's done. So that is the point of this video, to just show you guys what a day's worth of high protein looks like. I want you to try and give it a go, actually, because it really, it's quite amazing. Like, me looking at all of this, I'm feeling full right now. Do you know what I mean? Because I've eaten in the past, when I've been really on top of my macros, I've eaten this much. I've actually eaten more than this. So I know just how filling this is, and how you go through your day just, it's amazing. You can still lose weight, but you're going through your day being like, actually, I'm really incredibly full. And for all you vegans out there, obviously, it's the same sort of thing. You can eat this much protein as a vegan. There's so many good vegan alternatives. The one thing for vegans that I would watch out for is, when I talked about animal proteins having fat in them, and so you have to balance that out. Well, vegan proteins, like, your beans, your lentils, your chickpeas, that type of stuff, they tend to be higher in carbs. So you want to then balance that out as well, because if you're having, all this like beans and you've got all this rice, maybe it's a little bit too much carbs for, for whatever goal that you're trying to achieve. So have a look at that and play around and balance it out. But, there's all kinds of stuff you can have. You can have like your smoked meats and all this stuff, but obviously wanting to have that balance with your fats. It's not just necessarily just about calories in, calories out, that sort of thing. So yeah, but this is what a full day of protein looks like. And hopefully this video was really useful. But yeah, give me a follow, give me a subscribe if you thought this was helpful, and if you want to find out more about macros, nutrition, and anything health and fitness related. And see you on the next one, guys.